On a remote island, something ancient, something unimaginable, is about to be unleashed. We open on a jungle. It's dark. It's misty. There's the sound of something massive moving. Workers in yellow hard hats wrestle with a huge metal crate. Inside, something is snarling. One careless mistake later, a man is pulled screaming into the darkness. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Cue the iconic theme, but just a hint of it. Not full blast yet. Patience. Cut to a lawyer, Donald Gennaro, riding a raft down a jungle river. He's here because the investors are getting nervous. Deaths are bad for business, it turns out. Hammond, the park's eccentric creator, needs to get the stamp of approval from experts before opening day. Meanwhile, in the desert, we meet Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sattler. They're excavating a velociraptor skeleton, because in the 90s, dinosaurs were somehow even cooler than now. Grant is rugged, Ellie is brilliant, and together they represent responsible scientists, a species that is sadly endangered in this movie. Hammond arrives by helicopter, ruining their delicate dig with a gust of dust and wind. He's not just rich, he's spare no expense rich. He wants them to visit his island and sign off on it. In exchange, he'll fund their dig site for years. Reluctantly, they agree. Adventure awaits. Cut to Isla Nublar. A helicopter slices through the clouds toward the island. Hammond, Grant, Sattler, Gennaro, and chaos theorist Ian Malcolm, the guy in all black who flirts with life-threatening situations as easily as he flirts with Sattler. They land. Jeeps are waiting. And then, it happens. A herd of brachiosaurs moves majestically across the plains. Everyone's jaws hit the floor. Dinosaurs. Real. Alive. Breathing. Spielberg lets the music swell and gives us that goosebump moment that everyone still remembers 30 years later. Hammond beams. Welcome to Jurassic Park. They visit the visitor center. Hammond shows off the lab where baby dinosaurs are engineered, using DNA extracted from fossilized mosquitoes trapped in amber. Science has gone too far, but also kind of adorably far. Dr. Wu, the lead geneticist, explains they made the dinos all female to control the population. Malcolm immediately points out that nature finds a way. Meanwhile, in the shadows, we meet Dennis Nedry. He's the park's overworked, underpaid computer technician. He's stressed, he's sweaty, and he's ready to commit corporate espionage. In a shady meeting at a Costa Rican cafe, he agrees to steal dinosaur embryos for a rival company. His payment? A fat paycheck and a can of Barbasol shaving cream with a hidden compartment. Because even betrayal needs style. Back on the island, the group heads out on a tour. They pile into self-driving Ford Explorers, very cutting edge at the time, and roll through massive gates straight out of King Kong. First stop, the Dilophosaurus paddock, no dinosaurs. Then the T-Rex paddock, again, no show. Turns out, even genetically engineered theme park attractions have bad days. A tropical storm is brewing. Hammond debates closing the park for the day, but before he can act, Nedry makes his move. He shuts down the security systems, sneaks into the lab, grabs the embryos, and flees. Unfortunately, he's no Bear Grylls. He crashes his Jeep, gets spat on by a cute but deadly Dilophosaurus, and dies unceremoniously. The embryos are lost in the mud. Oops. With the fences down, the dinosaurs are loose. At the T-Rex paddock, the explorers stall out, and then thunderous footsteps, ripples in a cup of water. The T-Rex emerges, towering, roaring, and hungry. It tears through the fence. It flips a car. It chases Malcolm, who performs his most heroic act of the movie, running in slow motion with his shirt halfway open. Grant and Hammond's grandkids, Lex and Tim, barely survive by staying absolutely still. Because in Jurassic Park, movement equals lunch. Grant rescues the kids and leads them into the jungle. Meanwhile, Sattler and Muldoon, the park's game warden, try to restore the systems. Muldoon knows the real danger isn't the T-Rex, it's the velociraptors. 3 raptors have already escaped, and they're smart. Really smart. Out in the park, Grant, Lex, and Tim bond while surviving everything from a stampede of Gallimimus to an electric fence that Tim heroically gets electrocuted by. But don't worry, he's fine. Eventually. Back at the control room, Hammond's engineer Ray Arnold, played by Samuel L. Jackson, tries to reboot the system manually. He heads to the maintenance shed and never comes back. Soon after, Muldoon and Sattler investigate. They split up naturally. Because in movies, splitting up always seems like a good idea. Muldoon tries to outsmart a raptor. He realizes too late, he's the one being hunted. "Clever girl," he whispers, just before being pounced. Sattler manages to reboot the park's systems. Barely. She also gets a horrifying close-up with a raptor during her escape. Meanwhile, Grant, Lex, and Tim finally make it back to the visitor center. They reunite with Sattler, just in time to find that the raptors have followed them inside. A deadly game of hide-and-seek unfolds in the industrial kitchens. Lex hacks into the security system, because apparently she's a computer genius, locks the doors, and calls for Hammond to send help. But just as the raptors corner the group in the main lobby, boom! The T-Rex crashes in, roaring like a boss. It snatches a raptor mid-air and crushes it. Suddenly, the T-Rex is the unexpected hero. The surviving humans escape in a jeep. As the T-Rex lets out a triumphant roar, the "When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth" banner flutters to the ground. On the helicopter ride home, Grant watches Lex and Tim sleeping peacefully beside him. Dinosaurs are magnificent, but humans aren't ready for them. Hammond gazes back at his shattered dream. The island shrinks away into the distance. In the end, nature did find a way, but so did survival. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment.